Hi guys, this is Divine Irony from Ghosts and ZU for the fourth and final boss fight that you can currently do in the Icecrown Citadel 10-man raid instance. Now this guy is called Deathbringer Saurfang. He will engage the party by really owning Muradin and the Alliance guards, putting them into a state of pain, hovering high above where you're fighting, and you and your party are going to have to fight Deathbringer Saurfang alone without any help from Muradin or any of the Alliance helpers. So this guide is basically going to be saying about the Saurfang's abilities, what you need to do during the fight, and what you need to watch out for. Okay, let's go. First off, we're going to be talking about the abilities. Okay, now Saurfang doesn't hit that hard at the beginning of the fight. He deals relatively low damage, and basically any tank can tank him very, very easily. Now, the problem with Saurfang is he gains blood power. He's a blood death knight, which means he grows 1% larger. He goes more red as well, by the way, so you can tell the more he goes how it is. You don't have to continually have someone have a mouse over him or anything to know whether he is actually gaining this ability. He will get larger and actually more red. For every point of blood bow he gets, he also gets 1% more damage. He also has an ability called Blood Link, which means Saurfang gains blood power from the damage he inflicts and from the damage his summoned creatures inflicts, which means he gets blood power when his adds hit you, as well as him hitting you. The other abilities he's got is called Blood Nova, which is an ability which means blood explodes outward from a random enemy target. This deals around 10,000 physical damage, less on normal mode. The other ability is called Boiling Blood. This boils the blood of an enemy, inflicting 9k physical damage every 3 seconds for 24 seconds. This obviously is less on normal mode because there isn't that much significant information about this guy yet, because he's only been out for a week, as you can probably tell. The other ability is the Call Blood Beast, where Saurfang will call forth 2 Blood Beasts every around 40 seconds to 1 minute. Now, these Blood Beasts will go after random players. They do have aggro, however, so they can be picked up, but it's not a good idea to pick them up, because every single time they hit someone, Saurfang gains blood power, which increases his damage and his HP. Once Saurfang gets 100 stacks of blood power, he will put a ability on one member of your raid group called Mark of the Fallen Champion. Now, what this means is Deathbringer Saurfang's melee attacks will actually splash not just to your tank, but also to the target that's been inflicted by Mark of the Fallen Champion. So, if you see the person who's been inflicted by Mark of the Fallen Champion, make sure your healers heal him up. Make sure you have a dedicated healer on this guy. If you've got any damage reducing effects, such as the Divine Shield, the Priest is prayer of something. I'm not sure what the Priest ability is. You have to keep this guy alive, because if he dies, Saurfang is healed for 5% of his total HP, and you also lose a DPS or a healer, which makes this fight significantly harder. The other ability he has is called Rune of Blood, which means Saurfang leeches health when he performs melee attacks on targets marked with Rune of Blood. Rune of Blood is an ability he puts on the tank. If the tank gets hit by Rune of Blood, you need your other tank to taunt Saurfang off him in order to stop Saurfang from healing up. The other ability he has is called Scent of Blood, which means Saurfang's blood beasts sometimes gain an ability which increases the damage by 300% and reduces all nearby enemies' movement speed by 80%. If this happens, try to have one of your tanks pick him up, or have a high health plate DPS pick him up, and that's about it. The only ability the Blood Beasts have, which is his ads, is they have a really reduced effect by AoE damage. So don't try to AoE these guys down. You need to single target them because AoE basically does almost nothing during the fight. Okay. Now the strategy. This is the main strategy. Now tank Saurfang where he spawns. Have 2 of your tanks standing in front of him. Make sure to minimize the amount of blood power he gets, and make sure you have your healers targeting the person who gets hit by the Mark of the Fallen Champion in order to prevent him from dying. Make sure taunt taunts off whenever Saurfang casts Rune of Blood on his primary aggro target, which is usually your main tank. Saurfang will cast Boiling Blood on random raid members. This usually can be healed through, but every tick actually grants him blood power. So if you have an ability such as Divine Shield or a way of removing it with immunity, it might be a useful strategy to use. Saurfang will also use an ability called Blood Nova. While this can be healed, it's a good idea to actually have your raid be around 12 yards away from each other in order to avoid splash damage from this ability. Every around 40 to 1 minute, every 40 seconds to 1 minute, 2 Blood Beasts will spawn. Now there's 2 different strategies for this. You can either have a off tank such as a Feral Druid, which is what we did, pick up some of the Blood Beasts and all range nuke them down. This does get Saurfang blood power, but we were able to heal through the Mark of the Champion's damage, so we found it helpful. There is an alternative strategy if you find your healers are having problems. Put down some slowing effects such as Mage's Blizzard or a Tank's Frost Trap. Tank's Frost Trap, a Hunter's Frost Trap on the floor, and make sure to nuke them down as quickly as possible in order to prevent how many stacks of blood power Saurfang has. By the way, with regards to the Mark of the Fallen Champion, this does a lot of damage, so make sure your healers keep healing them. A little bit of a tip, by the way, for this ability. The damage can be temporarily prevented by stuff such as Divine Shield, Ice Block, Hand of Protection, but this doesn't remove the effect. And by the way, if a person dies from Mark of the Fallen Champion, do not resurrect them. Do you know why you don't want to resurrect them? Because the Fallen Champion persists through death. So if you res them up, however, using a Druid's battle res, they will actually die again because they will take damage from Saurfang, and Saurfang will not only get 5% of its HP back, he will get 10% of its HP back. When Saurfang reaches 30%, he will go into a frenzy, which increases his damage even more. When he gets to 30%, pop all cooldowns, ignore the Blood Beasts, have off tank pick them up if they do take a little bit of a trouble, and use Heroism, nuke him down, and go as quickly as possible. Just DPS as quickly as possible in order to get him down. One last tip of way for the fight. You can use Amplify Magic during the fight to increase the healing done by your healers, because every single ability during the fight is physical. No magic ability, it's all physical. And now what you're seeing now is basically the lore and story that happens after the guy is dead. And I'm going to leave you with that now. And sorry I don't have sound, I'm really sorry about that. But thanks for watching. I hope you found this guide helpful, and I hope to see you in another video. Peace out, guys.